Good morning, class. How is everyone doing today? Are you excited for our writing lesson? There may be a surprise for good listeners and participators. Yesterday, we covered the parts of a sentence and briefly talked about the terms capitalization and punctuation. Who remembers talking about these by a show of hand? Thank you. Great job participating so far. Today, we will learn more about capitalization, including a helpful acronym for remembering when we use capital letters. We will also work on practice examples together as a class and in groups. We're going to learn the punctuation symbols and when the appropriate time is to use these basic symbols at the end of the lesson. Our objective for today is to remember the capitalization rules using mints and also to identify and use punctuation symbols. To begin, let's recap what it means to use capital letters and why it's important to use the letters. Who can tell me what capitalization is? Great start! Capitalization is the process of writing one letter uppercase and the next letter in lowercase. It is important to use capital letters in our writing for many reasons. It shows the reader when we start a new sentence, when you're giving someone credit for who they are or what they've done. It shows that you're giving an object credit for what it is. It shows an important time, and it gives you credit. Now that you understand what capitalization means, let's look at how we can easily remember when to use capital letters. MINTS is an acronym to remember the rules of capitalization. We're going to go over each of the rules. M for months, I for the letter I, N for the names, T for titles, and S for the start of sentences. Repeat after me, MINTS. Months, letter I, names, titles, start of sentences. Good job. Let's start with rule number 1, M. M stands for months. Good. Here's an example. Sarah turns 8 in March. March is the month, so M is capitalized. Rule number 2 is I, the letter I. Here's an example. Julie and I play during recess. I is a rule, so we capitalize it. The third rule is N. N stands for names or proper nouns. Here is an example. Henry's favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. Henry is a name and Thanksgiving is a holiday, so we capitalize both the H and the T. Rule number 4 is T. T stands for titles. It could be the title of people, of books, or movies. Here's an example. Miss Pobosic loves Frozen. Miss is the title of Miss Pobosic, and Frozen is the title of a movie, so we capitalize both the M and the F. The last rule is S, and S stands for the start of sentences. Here is an example. Now capitalizing is easy with mints. Now is the start of the sentence, so we capitalize the letter N. Great job helping me learn these rules. Now let's practice the rules with a partner. I have 3 sentences that have some letters that need to be capitalized. Can you guys help me? Great. First, I want you to turn to your partner sitting next to you, and one of you needs to get out a piece of paper and the other a pencil. I'm giving you 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Great job. I see that you're all ready. You are all doing a wonderful job participating, and your surprise is definitely looking like a yes. Now for practice, I don't need you to write down the entire sentence unless you want to, but I do need you to write each letter that needs to be capitalized. Here is your first sentence to help me. I see 5 letters that need to be capitalized. The sentence is, on Tuesday I went to Chicago with Michael. Who wants to share what letters they think need to be capitalized? Great job. Let's see how they did. On Tuesday, I went to Chicago with Michael. You should have the letters O, T, I, C, and M all capitalized. On is the start of a sentence. Tuesday, Chicago, and Michael are all proper nouns, and I because it's the letter I. Here's your second sentence. In this sentence, I see 4 letters that need to be capitalized. Who wants to help with this one? What letters did you capitalize? Great job! Let's see how you did. Mr. Smith and I have a birthday in September. You should have M-S-I-S, all capitalized. Mr. is the title, Smith and September are both proper nouns, and I because it's the letter I. You guys are doing wonderful. Here's your last sentence. Again, in this sentence, I only see 4 letters that need to be capitalized. Who wants to help? Let's check the answers. Can Susan read Dr. Seuss? You should have C-S-D-S all capitalized. Can is the start of the sentence, Susan and Seuss are both proper nouns, and doctor is the title. Great job! Let's take a brain break. You've all done a very good job learning the capitalization rules. Who can tell me the acronym to remember the rules? Great! MINTS. M-I-N-T-S. Now for your brain break, I each brought you a mint that you can eat while we learn the basic punctuation marks. I'm going to pause and pass out your mints now. You can say no thank you if you do not like a mint. Now we're going to switch gears and go over the basic symbols used as punctuation. But first, who can tell me what punctuation is or means? Good! Punctuation is the symbols used in writing to separate the sentences and their elements to clarify meaning. Why do we use punctuation? We use it to tell the reader that we're done with our sentence. We're going to cover 3 marks. First is the period. It looks like this. How many of you, by a show of hands, have seen this in a book before? Good! When do you think we use this symbol? Yeah, exactly. We use the period at the end of a sentence to say that we're done, and it's the most common mark. Next is the question mark. This is what it looks like. When do you think we use a question mark? Good! We use question marks when we're asking a question. Finally is the exclamation mark, and it looks like this. We use the exclamation mark when we're excited or we're saying something that's really important and it needs to stand out. This symbol is only used a few times and is most commonly confused with a period. These are the only symbols that we're going to study today, but let's do some partner practice. By using the same scrap paper and your partner sitting next to you, we're going to practice these punctuation marks. I want you to write a symbol that goes at the end of the sentences, and you will only use each mark once, so be careful and think hard. Here's your first sentence. I can't wait to see the Lego movie. What do you think goes at the end? Good job! An exclamation mark. Many of you thought that it was the period, except in the sentence, the phrase can't wait is showing excitement, which means that we use an exclamation mark. Your second sentence is here. My dad is a doctor. What do you think goes at this one, at the end of this one? Good, a period. There's nothing special about this sentence, so we use a period to show that we're done. Here's your last sentence. How many siblings do you have? What do you think goes at the end of this sentence? Very good, a question mark. Today we've covered capitalization, and we learned the acronym MINTS to remember the rules when we need to use a capital letter. Let's go over them now. M, months. I, the letter I. N, names. T, title. S, the start of sentences. Repeat after me. mince. Good. We also covered the 3 basic marks of punctuation. The 3 basic symbols are the period, the question mark, and the exclamation mark. Now that we've learned everything that we need to today, I have an assignment for you to complete for independent work. This assignment is independent, meaning that you're not allowed to ask your neighbor for help. I want you to do only the first page and then write your name on the board and wait until another friend is done and writes their name on the board. Then you and your partner can check the first page. When you're all done checking with a partner, I would like you both to turn your activity into the writing basket and then find a quiet learning activity until everyone is done and we're ready to go to lunch. Great job today, class.